I'm gonna talk about difficulties. And I'm showing you how sometimes in life you should stay with your difficulties. So my English is really bad, but I really want to tell you my story. And so you will survive with my difficulties. As you can see, I am really tall. And so when people see me, they ask me if I play basketball or volleyball. And there is something humans, and in particular humans that like TEDx, have in common. We all are curious about other people's life. I'm wondering, you are asking what I'm good at. Not in English, for sure, but maybe there is some other things I'm really good at. Yes, I played basketball. But that will not be the story as me as a player, and that wasn't a very important story. That will be the story of what get you out of the bed in the morning. I don't know if you ask this question to yourself. I think we do not ask many times, but maybe we get out of the bed because we think to work, the work we dream, or because we dream a vacation, or because we dream to have a baby, to see our children grow up, or we wake up in the morning because we think to our graduation, to finish the school. But there is something always true. We ask this question little. We more often ask to ourselves what to eat, what to drink, where to go on vacation, what kind of shoes wear, but not what get everyone out of the bed in the morning. And it may be strange to you, but many psychologists spend all their life to study why people wake up in the morning. And many call search of your value or learning your ideal self. But today I will talk what get you out of the bed in the morning. So one more time. Why and what get you out of the bed? I think many of you will think about the alarm clock of the phone. But if you have the courage to go a little deeper, and my talk is only 8 minutes more, maybe you will discover what gets you out of the bed in the morning. But first, I want to share my story, what get me out of the bed in the morning. The first part of this story is about to feel you guilty if you don't ask to yourself what gets you out of the bed in the morning. So first thing, you need to feel guilty if you don't ask. This is my story. And I start to discover what get me out of the bed in the morning when I was 10. And I was a very beautiful child with blonde hair and a brain full of dream and power and passion for everything. And my mother, I went sometimes with my mother, and she was a special teacher in a vocational school. I don't know if you know this kind of school where students with learning disabilities, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or people who doesn't like, students, they don't like the school, they finish there. And my mom, it's supposed she teach English, but I never hear one single word in English, as you can see, and hear from my English. And she asked me to participate. She had one-on-one lesson. And please, Francesca, stay with me. You can help me to teach to these students. But to me, those adolescents seems really sad and hungry. And I think they don't like nothing in the world. They have no passion. They do not have a place in the world. And it was so perfect. I was dreaming peace and to change the world. And so I prefer to stay in the school, how do you say this? School cabinet. School locker. Inside the school locker, I read beautiful books about future happiness, entrepreneurship. I was young, but I was really smart, so I stay there. And my mom start every first meeting with the student with a very beautiful question. What do you like to do? That is a very easier is easier to say like than what get you up out of the bed, but they are really similar. And many students say, not to the school, I don't know, I don't like nothing. And I remember one times a boy, a student like him, I don't find his photo, but he's like him, Sasha, I think it was his name. And he came to my mom for the first time. And I think he was 17 years old, true failure behind him, no passion, no sport, nothing, only hungry. And my mom asked him, hey, what do you like to do? And I was inside the school locker with my light, reading my beautiful books about the beautiful future I was dreaming of. And I thought, for sure, he will say nothing. Because it was like, and inside the school looker, I tried to feel anxious. I feel so bad. Why? He doesn't like nothing. How is it possible? There is many things to do in this life. Nothing. He doesn't like nothing. He didn't like nothing. And only a few months ago, I understand that all my life I'm running away from this silence. The silence of someone who doesn't know what to do. Sometimes I go to my grandfather Canaries when he is not at home, said Sasha. Yes. I record the sound they make when they are where they are thirsty or when they want to talk with me. And I start to think it's a fantastic idea, a translator of Canary language. It could be applied to elderly people. It could be everything. It's very beautiful. It was fantastic. And inside the school locker, I start to feel like happy. And I do not say nothing to Sasha. I didn't say nothing to Sasha. I stay inside the... I stay there because I thought that when you have a beautiful idea, or when you like to do something and you are able to do something, you will do it. We all grow up in a society in which success is an individual product. So we receive many messages. Yes, you can. If you can dream it, you can do it. And so it seems that when you think something, you should realize it. But there is a missing part. Not always you by yourself can do what you like to do. But so back to my story. It's easy to understand why I made psychologist. I like student, I like learning, I like listening. So I take my degree and 2 PhD in psychology. So it seems the story like beautiful and strong woman who by herself can find why I get out of the bed in the morning. But no. Because when I was at the last year of psychology, I start to think to my future. And I see me like the classical psychologists to think about, the ones they are sitting, listening to you, they are working by themselves. The ones you think, are you psychoanalyzing me? Or the ones you are asking, can you tell me why I dream these things? I don't want to be this kind of psychologist. I feel like now I am finishing my university and I don't want to do what I study for. I don't know if happens to you too, no? The emotion to, I should be content, but I'm not content. It seems I turn around and I don't know where to go. So, why lie? I was not a strong woman, and if if I was alone, I will still be there. But there in our life, and in particular in people who, who can realize their dream, there is always one human, and sometimes it's a teacher or a parent or a psychologist who tell you, as it happens to the story before me, who tell you, try. I trust in you. You can do it. It's a beautiful idea. And maybe they do not know your perfect story, your perfect idea, but they trust in you. And so it happens to me because a professor told me, please, try to be the psychologist you want to be. And so I start my own journey. And I cry, I made research, I made a very similar journey to other journey. But if I have to share with you what is the most important idea, is that psychologists cannot be do alone. So that's why I founded Teacher. We are a social cooperative of psychologists, and we work together to help children with learning disabilities, attention deficit disorder, to help them to understand what gets them out of the bed in the morning. And so it seems my TED is finished. So because I found my why I get up to help other people to get up. But yesterday, and you can try it, I text in Google Canary translator. And if you try, there is nothing. No one's invent Canary translator. And so every time I made this talk, I ask people, please, if you see Sasha, or if Sasha is here, I'm really sorry, Sasha, I'm really sorry. I thought it was a great idea, a very beautiful idea. I'm sorry not to tell you, please try. And so what about serendipity in my talk? Because I think serendipity sometimes need an hand. And so please, be the hand for the Sasha you will meet tomorrow. Thank you.